Right, let me have a look. Decent story still in there. It should be. Spies like her. Mm. Here we go. Roll out 2 smoking barrels. Brilliant. And if she comes in once it's started, then I'll just make my excuses and move over before I move behind her, and you can stay where you are with your.
Okay, here we are back again, and now, much to your chagrin, you can see us properly. Our guest still hasn't arrived, but then, after 10 years of this, it doesn't surprise me. Half the time, people have no sense that television is immediate. If you don't get there on time, the time is gone. You can't sort of say, I'll do it in half an hour. That's it, unfortunately.
Not manwana.
No manwana.
No.
And that's not a naughty word.
Trust me on that.
Right. Okay. Right. Now, Freddie, you're Teddie. Sorry. You're
Freddie. Who's Freddie?
Well,
oh, he's in my pocket.
I actually, strangely enough, I knew a guy. I haven't heard from him recently, and I suspect that he's died. That he had Parkinson's rather badly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And in fact, when I wasn't too bad, he was as bad as I am now.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm so determined not to go too soon that you've got me for a while, I'm afraid. But
good, thank God for that. Blimey.
But Parkinson's can do dreadful things to you because it weakens the immune system. That's the problem.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I don't get onto the scooter when it's pissing down with rain, because if I get drenched, I might die at the wheel.
As long as it's not under the wheel. I had a friend of mine actually that died. He was on a mobility scooter in Peacehaven when I lived down at Meridian Court, and we had the co-op right at the top in the Meridian Centre, and can't remember his name now, but anyway, off he went up the hill, and literally the mobility scooter flipped over, and it was a big heavy one. It used to be more like a motorbike than it was, and he just landed on top of him, and he never recovered.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Well, that's happened to me a couple of times. I've been pitched into the road, and luckily the drivers were pretty aware and stopped and helped me up, put me back on the scooter. Beep beep, off I go.
Yeah, and you off you go again. Yeah, it's amazing, but they couldn't literally pick the scooter up. It was that heavy. Really was.
Yeah, mine is.
Yeah. Well,
mind you, it's heavy enough. I wouldn't want it to fall on top of me.
Well, no, I want it to fall on top of me. That's why I much prefer a push bike. Far more manageable.
Yeah.
Far more manageable, and keep this marvellous figure of mine. Just looking at the paper, going back to the paper while I wait, just to see if the lovely Claire comes back. I still love her anyway. London, roll out the 2 smoking barrels. There we go, Vinnie Jones and
Vinnie,
and Jason Statham. There you go. There's the picture. There we go. And what are they doing anyway? They're reunited for another all-action movie.
Oh,
wow, brilliant. The pair are once again working with Guy Ritchie, who directed the 1998 crime caper 2 Smoking Barrels and its sequel Snatch. They are filming Viva la Madness a follow-up to the 2004 hit Layer Cake. Yeah, that sounds quite nice. Pass you a bit of Layer Cake. Which starred, of course, Daniel Craig, aka 007. No More. Down, 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 down.
Yeah.
And also, keep your tin badge in your pocket. Jason 58 is taking over from Daniel as the main character, a drug dealer. Double X, and is also producer. Instead of the movie, which has just started filming in the capital, it has its own element of black comedy. Former Wimbledon and Leeds United footballer Vinny could be seen fall into the ground after his character took a bullet. Oh, well, it went with a bang at least, with Jason in the thick of it too. Midfielder enforcer Vinny won an Empire Award for Best Newcomer for his role as Big Chris in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Yeah, he quit football in 1999 and obviously started in the film business where he's been ever since. And he's also starred in Gone in 60 Seconds, Fella Hardman Jason, also famous. It's also famous for the Fast and Furious franchise. Here we go. And so, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That the two guys are back together. You know, I know when I go through the papers, I read all this showbiz stuff, but it just keeps me up to date at the same time, as well as hopefully entertaining you lot. If you have any other suggestions, guys, just blog us in on the blog. The blog running.
The trouble with that show business stuff is it's a bit like social media. You never know what to believe.
Well, anything, and I don't believe anything journalists write, to be honest with you. I really don't. And really, I don't care, because, like, you know what? It's just.
Well, strangely enough, I was discussing this with Richard the other night.
Yeah, our legal
the other day. Our barrister man. And we both envy the days of Harold Evans at the Sunday Times. He was a most innovative editor, a really good editor, and that's when they had their eyewitness news. They had investigative reporters who would disappear for months on end and come up with a blockbuster of a story. I knew one or two of them, actually, because a couple of them were in Northern Ireland, went to Northern Ireland.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Got involved with,
Ulster TV.
And so on, yeah.
Ulster TV.
And he agreed with me that was a golden era. But he had one article, and I said, this is something that we'll try to replicate. I said, I should talk to Teddie on Mirador, and that is other people's Sunday lunch. They used to have an article, other people's Sunday lunch. And so, for instance, you would write about what I had for lunch on a Sunday.
Oh, right. And then all the other people around you that you actually converse with over the meal.
So you might have on a regular basis roast beef on a Sunday, and then you find out that what I do is I have cheese on toast or whatever. Yeah. And write about it. That's what other people are doing. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And it was a great feature. Harold Evans was one of my heroes. He's a great man. And he was doing extremely well at the Sunday Times, and guess what?
What?
Rupert bought it.
Oh, blood! Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I know just how ruthless Murdoch can be, because I was working with, not for. I have to be very careful. I never worked for Dow Jones. I was on a consulting basis from CNBC, making sure that their journalists could write and broadcast because of course it was an all text thing. And then one day it was announced that Rupert had bought the thing, and it was all end.
Oh,
And
right.
strangely enough, one of my really good friends, who was a brilliant journalist, absolutely brilliant journalist, and is now in Washington, D.C., and he popped up on Facebook or something of the sort the other day. And I thought, I asked Randy whether he would do some stuff for Mirador, and then I forgot about it. I'm going to go back to him because he's the sort of guy that,
right.
for instance, was invited whenever the Treasury was going to make an announcement. There are only a handful of journalists that are invited in,
Like the creme de creme.
and they have to make a decision about the story within about 30 seconds of the announcement being made. So we're starting to get our top people back again. Rather great.
Actually, talking of that, I think what we're going to fill the last bit of the show with is talk about you.
Oh.
Now, from everything you said, I said to you the other week, I said something about you being in television 35 years, just because it had been mentioned. Then you said, oh, no, try 50 or 60.
Yeah.
So Keith, for our viewers out there, where did it start?
Well, strangely enough, I've just been talking to the AI thing, because they're writing a book about me, and we could put it down into segments. Really, it started in Canada, where I was working for a radio station called CFUN, and I was very lucky because the man who hired me was a guy called Roy Jacks, who had worked with Edward R. Murrow on Fleet Street during the war, and he recognised, somebody who knew what he was about, and apparently I knew what I was about, and I went from there to a station called CJOR, where I was made the head of news, and that's where Bernard Braden found me and brought me back to Britain.
Can I just take you back?
Yeah.
So how did you get in to what you've been doing now?
Persistence.
Yeah.
I was working. I was freelance with the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
Yeah.
Canada's equivalent to the BBC.
Yeah.
And I used to do something called Pacific Sports Final.
Yeah.
And I did all the non-Canadian sports: football, cricket, rugby, and so on. I wasn't allowed to do baseball or American football or anything of that sort, because they figured that the Canadian accent was necessary. But with overseas sports, they didn't mind the English version. And that's how I really started and learned my trade. And by God, did I learn it, I'll tell you. Because there was great resistance to using me.
So you didn't have any sort of where you went in and learned just as just freelance without being paid. I mean,
I did. I did it about a year before. Yeah,
you did. About a year then.
Yeah,
and then you got into as the sports reporter for the English news.
Well, I did the sports reporting on a freebie basis.
Yeah.
Well, I was learning the trade, and whoops, hang on. And I went from the CBC. I went to this station, CFUN, because by that time,
the radio station.
Yeah, they started to get used to my voice, and they knew that I could do the job. But I worked at the CBC right until the time I came back. I was able to, because it was a state broadcaster, as it were, they didn't see it as a threat to the commercial version, and vice versa. So I was able to work for the commercial version and maintain my sports reporting for the CBC. And I'm glad I did, because I got to do the early days of the North American Professional Soccer League. And Peter McParland, Bobby Robson, Pushkas, they all came under my remit, as it were. So I got to meet some really great football greats.
Because Teddie Maybank, I think, played out there as well.
I think he did.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine, actually, Teddie.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Lovely fella, actually. Good
drinker. I mean, they had some really. I don't know what the. Now, I'm trying to remember. There was one guy who went out there from Aston Villa and did very well, and they used him as a contact. That's why so many of them came. Who did Maybank play for?
He played for Chelsea and Fulham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be Fulham, because even though we're fierce rivals, the Villa and Fulham have always got along well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Actually.
Yeah. But anyway, from there I came back here and went to Birmingham, where I opened up. They didn't exist at the time. BRMB.
Oh yes, indeed. I know the radio station. I DJ'd in around the Midlands for 8 years.
Oh right. Well, then you would have known Tony Butler.
Yes.
Right. Now, for those people who don't know Tony Butler, but he was a legend in the Midlands. Anybody in the Midlands knows Tony Butler. But when I was recruiting, this guy came in and he said, "Here, there, kid, I want to be your sports reporter." So I said, "Oh well, you know, what's your background?" And he said, "Well, I've never been on the air." He said, "Never been on the air except my hand." I said, "What do you mean, my hand?"
Yeah.
He says, "Well, I used to do the sports for BBC on a Saturday afternoon." He said, "And I would creep up and put the sports as they came in, the scores, in front of the viewer." He said, "And the cameraman pulled back too quickly," and he said, "He got my hand." Yeah. But he went on. Jasper Carrot got hold of him, and made him famous, and he became really an absolute legend in the Midlands.
Was that on Funky Moped?
Could have been, yeah.
He probably was.
Yeah.
It was Jasper Carrot's big hit, Funky Moped.
Oh, right, yeah. That's right.
Sorry, I'm stopping you, but
no. From there, I went to BBC Pebble Mill very, very briefly, who sent me to Northern Ireland, where I was with the BBC for a while, and I discovered Gloria Hamilton and brought her to fame. Then moved on to, you mentioned it earlier, UTV.
Yeah. You got a plaque somewhere, haven't you, in there? Ulster TV.
Oh, yeah, I have somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
And I think I got a newspaper with my picture in it, an ad for UTV. But
and that was in the times of the Troubles.
Yes, it was. I went there in 1975. Not for the first time, I may say, but I went there for good in 1975 and didn't come back until 1990. So I was there the whole range of the Troubles.
So can I ask you, how were you perceived by the Protestants and the Catholics? Because you presumably must have had plenty of contact with both sides of the coin. So
yes, I did. And the diehards hated me on both sides. And, you talk about terror. And one day I got some Americans as guests, and I wanted to show them a shebeen. And I got a contact. I went up on the Shankill, and he said, "Look, I'm busy, but I'm going to let Joey over there look after you." And he moved off, and Joey came along, and he said, "Look here." He said, "If you two don't get off the Shankill within 2 minutes, I'm going to have you shot."
That's Republican, isn't it? That was Republican?
No,
it was Protestant.
That was our own side, loyalists. Yeah,
really.
And I tell you, look in the eyes, you knew he meant it. Yeah. It's only the odd times I've almost wet myself from fear, but that was one of them.
That's terror.
Yeah.
Really.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we scuttled off the schedule.
Understandable.
Yeah. But I also ran a safe house for the army.
Oh, did you?
And at one stage, because I lived in a very nice place, and I lived in a little road that ran down to the sea, and over a railway bridge, a little stone railway bridge. So the army were able to post 2 guys there, and the IRA would have had to have really attacked very fiercely to get past them and to get to because we had half the British High Command at a garden party. But from there, I went back to Reuters, which was my golden age, because I was made London anchor of the Coast to Coast Business Programme, Morning Business Board, and a lifelong friendship because the New York anchor was Melissa Conti, who now is on Mirador from New York every Friday. And
Really?
and we were there for 10 years on Morning Business Report, working with some of the greats. And we did very well together. We bounced off one another very well. I didn't meet her for years. We only saw one another on the camera. But when we did, we became fast friends. Anyway, after a decade, that came to an end. And then I went to walkabout with the EU and USA and so on. So I went to Kosovo, sorted their media out, various Balkan states in between, Serbia, Bosnia, Montenegro. And then I went off to Russia, started Russia Today, from an empty room.
Really?
Yeah. It was, I arrived and this very nice guy who became Alexander Sambuk got on board the plane to greet me. I guess he used his best credentials.
Could you speak Russian?
No. Still can't.
No, still. And yet you put together something like Russia Today, which is their only main station still, isn't it?
Well, yes, but remember, it was designed to be broadcast to overseas.
I know, yeah.
Not domestically. So English was very important.
Yeah.
So I got all these young things who had never done any journalism at all. What they did was they spoke perfect English. And I forged them into, I think I went out there in May or something like that. In October, we got them on the air. May, June, July, August. Within about 4 short months, we got them operating. And 10 years on, they contacted me and said, look, we want to take you for a meal in London to celebrate our 10th anniversary. We tried to get hold of you for the one we had in Moscow, but we couldn't find you. And he said, President Putin and Mr. Gorbachev came to the opening, and they said, Putin looked around and said, oh, how did all this get started? We weren't sure whether he liked it or not. So we hedged our bets and we said, he hazed it.
Yeah. Brilliant. So you've actually met him, Mr. Putin, haven't you?
No, I'm not.
No.
I've seen him the way I saw Trudeau in Canada. Trudeau in Canada I saw Trudeau more than I talked to him, but I did actually talk to him in Canada. But Putin does not make himself readily available. But I will tell you a little story, because one of the trainees, they went all Russians. One of the trainees was a guy called Jason de la Peña, who had been a professional cricketer here. And as he said, he lost his confidence. So he went into journalism, and off he went to Moscow, because it was the easiest thing for him to do. And he came to me one day and he said, there's a big rugby tournament here, and I'd like a camera to go down and take a camera down and film it. He said, it's growing, you know. I said, yeah, you go ahead. He came back crestfallen because they had an apparent cheek, you know, a guy put there by the Kremlin who had said, no, you can't have it. So anyway, he said, well, I'll go down and I'll cover it anyway without the camera.
Can I just go back there just for a sec? So that period of doing that for Russia in those short few months, who was that? Was it Yeltsin in charge at the time?
No, Yeltsin had gone. It was Putin.
Putin.
Yeah.
Oh, he just taken over there.
Yeah.
Putin actually, I always get a bit confused because Putin's just now seems to been indestructible.
Oh, absolutely. He's a master plotter because he's KGB, you see.
Well, I know, exactly. And also I read that there is actually over there's medical departments that produce body parts for people. And I read that from everything, from an excerpt of a conversation someone heard, that Putin said that's great because they can keep making replacement parts, body parts for adults, which is, you know, the whole medical.
Yeah.
Also, from a friend of mine, he's married to Marina, and before now, she said about if he lived in Russia, his health would be that much better.
Yeah.
Is Russia health for their citizens that much better than just? I know this is a side issue, but I thought if you've been out there, you probably have a clearer idea. That's all.
Actually, it's a bit like this country. If you live in Moscow or St. Petersburg, you're urban, and they are very, very clever people. Very clever people. It's a huge country. You go out into the countryside, and they really are peasants. Really a peasant class.
Really?
Yeah. So the urbanites being very clever, and believe me, a lot of these people that I trained were very clever. One of them, by the way, was Sophie Shevardnadze, Edouard's granddaughter.
Really?
Yeah, who has stayed a friend. Occasionally she appears on Facebook and I say, Sophie, you're as beautiful as ever. And she goes, oh.
Yeah, it's just because, you know, it's just that he said to me, Graham, Jerry, 2 or 3 years ago, he said, there was something wrong with Marina, his wife. He said, I've got to take her back over to Russia, even though she left Russia when she married me, because like they got married back in '96. And he said, yes, she said, I'll come back to the West with you. And they've been here ever since. Well, she has, Marina. Yeah, come in. Come in. Come in, Claire.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I got the wrong. I've been going down to your orphanage.
That's all right. Now we've got our guest here. So
right.
Would you mind if we take a break of this and continue it next Tuesday, Keith?
No, not in the least.
You know?
We'll leave it. We'll leave it with a few legs apart.
We will.
In Moscow.
Yeah, we'll leave it at Moscow.
Right.
With you and Putin.
Me and Putin and some legs.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Well, mine are long enough, aren't they? Now, welcome along. Now I've got another guest here, the lovely Claire from Cleve Down. I've danced with her slow and fast, but I still know nothing about the girl. So for me and our viewers, I hope you enjoy the. You all right?
Yeah.
Just help my controller up.
There we go.
You're right, Keith.
There you go, Claire. You take that suit. Yeah.
Okay. Are you all right getting out? You all right? Where are you going to go?
I'll float around with the best. My usefulness is spent now.
So we'll continue Keith's journey next week.
That sounded interesting.
Oh, it was. I'm sure like you are.
There you go.
Now, Claire, you are Claire
Pope.
Pope? Oh,
Yes.
right. Better do
I
our
think so.
Holy Fathers.
I think so.
And so, where did your journey begin? Were you brought up locally, or?
No, my dad was in the Air Force, so we travelled. So I've come sort of from everywhere. So I've lived around England a lot, and we've been abroad. And then when my dad left the forces, we all kept doing it. So we're kind of travellers.
Oh, right.
But I have been in Lewis for about 30 years. And that was because I had a daughter and she had to go to school.
Of course, exactly. So, you married?
I have been, but not now.
Not
It's
now.
a long time ago.
And so, you travelled all around the country. What did you do professionally? What did you start when you left school yourself?
I got into food, which I still love.
Well, of course.
So I did a lot with food. I mean, in those days, I job hopped. And I did own my own restaurant in New Zealand. That was very interesting. I was in New Zealand for 5 years.
And how did you end up owning your own restaurant in New Zealand?
Just being in the food business, I got involved with another girl or a woman who had her own catering company, and we joined forces and then opened a restaurant alongside the catering company.
What was it called?
It was called Samuel Woodbine, which is a really funny, I know, in this country, that's a really funny thing.
Exactly. And what year was that? What, roughly?
I was about 20, I was about 30. So we're going back.
Last year.
Yeah. Recently.
Recently. You know what? That's good. So you must have learned a lot about how to talk to people.
Yeah, front of house.
Front of house.
Food, stock. Yeah.
Interpersonal
menus,
skills with staff.
Running a business.
Running a business, which is in itself, having done it myself a few times, it's not easy. I know, and how did you find running a business in New Zealand?
Yeah, it was good. It was hard work. The food industry is hard work.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make a lot of money on food. You kind of end up doing it for the joy of it. And I mean, a lot of restaurants and people in food, it is difficult, because, well, especially now, food is expensive, but staff, telephones, storing, all that.
Oh, the amount and health and safety rules now will make it murder now running a restaurant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it's probably much tougher. Although, I mean, I do go to places and I think.
And you still judge it?
Yeah, I do.
Well, it's natural.
Yeah, I want to know if it's clean.
Exactly. It's like if I go to a gig, I always judge it.
Yeah.
It's just natural again.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing to do when you've had, because having a business, I think, is not just about having a business, but it's having an interest in the business you're actually doing.
Yeah, I think, you've got to love it.
You have to have a passion for doing it.
Yeah.
Really. And so after the restaurant, then you job hopped around?
Yeah, I came back to the UK. I can't remember what I did there from there. I went to Wales. I was in Wales for about...
With a Welsh worry?
Possibly. I loved Wales. I had a really good... I had a lot of fun in Wales.
How long were you there?
I think I must have been there about 7 years. But I was a singer in Wales.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, so went round the festivals and sang and did some folk clubs.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and I met some really good people. Wales is good.
Yeah. I've only had a couple of weekends there and I've loved it, to be honest. I'm down in Cardiff. Yeah, I had a good couple of weekends down there. It is, people are just people actually when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
So folk stuff, did you sing covers or did you sing your own stuff? Or
We did, yeah, we were doing our own stuff.
Oh right, it's a folk band.
Yeah.
How many of you in the folk band?
Well, we're actually a band, yeah. Me and Bill.
Oh yeah, lovely.
And then whoever wanted to join in.
Yeah, and whoever else.
That's right. Whoever's
Exactly,
yeah,
whoever's there.
Yeah, that way of life is good because people do.
Yeah, of course, exactly.
Yeah.
And folk is about bringing people in collectively and getting them to join in.
Yeah.
That's basically the thing with all music. It brings people in, and if you create the right atmosphere, then people will reciprocate.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. So you own. So Bill and you used to write your stuff as well as do cover versions.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because I don't think about it very often. I'm trying to think what we did do. We were just always mucking about. But mostly we did our own stuff.
Yeah, you know what? Music is fun.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like your food business was exactly the same. I'm sure you got a lot of fun and a lot of joy out of that.
Yeah.
You already said so yourself.
And I guess, those life choices, those life choices are about people.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
like being with people, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting involved in
And
stuff.
I spot it as well when we you're in social events, when you're saying social events. I mean, you can tell, how people are with other people about the type of character they are, which is ideally that's what everyone should see. The creative side of you.
Yeah, the creative side of us.
There is a creative side there, I know, which I'll mention later on, actually. So after Wales and the Folk Club, what was next in your journey?
I had my daughter.
Boy.
So that was big. And I've always been a single parent. So we were in Wales for about another 2 years, and then I took me and my daughter to the Isle of Wight.
And what's your daughter's name?
Hannah.
Nice. And then to the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
And you stayed there
Yeah, we were there for about 6 years. Yeah. And then we went back to South Wales and worked on a farm.
So where in Isle of Wight were you?
I was in Ryde.
In Ryde, yeah. Oh well, that's So what's she doing now, your daughter?
She's a mum, a full-time mum.
Single?
Yeah.
Oh well, she's continued the family tradition.
It runs in the family. She lives in Peacehaven.
Yeah. Oh well, Carl will be disappointed. You see, I've never got chance to have this chat in our normal situation.
No, it's sort of not time.
Exactly, well there isn't, because I don't know who it is, that DJ that drives things on all the time. Bloody pain in the bum at times.
I know.
Bloody pain in the arse at times. It really is. So we're up to Isle of Wight, and after that was
but we went to the south of Wales and worked on a farm that was set up for adults with learning difficulties.
Right.
So it was a small farm. So there was pigs and sheep and a couple of cows and growing stuff.
Oh, would be.
Yeah.
I guess
not lots of stuff, but
no.
Yeah. And it was about teaching animal husbandry and a trade to people with learning difficulties.
Fantastic. So it's more like an actual enclosed community.
A project, really.
Project. Yeah. So right. Yeah. And that must have learned a lot from that as well.
Yeah, it was wonderful because like my daughter talks about that a lot because I home educated my daughter until she was 8. So I thought when when we went to the farm, I thought this is great for home education. You know, this
That's
is really
a common,
yeah,
more than anything,
yeah.
you know.
So like learning about animals, and she was wild and free. She could do what she wanted. It was really nice.
And away
Yeah.
from all the modern tech and
Yeah.
technology. So you can imagine how it would be now with technology now the way it is.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
It is, yeah. But I'm sure, does the commune still
Yeah, it's still
function?
there.
Is it
I think
still
it's
there?
changed hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still there. Yeah, it was a beautiful place. And me and Hannah, we lived in a caravan on the farm. So that was really cool. So we were sort of
Brilliant.
there.
So yeah, but you had your own space at the same time.
Yeah, you need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about for the learning kids? They what, like billeted in?
No, they used to come every day. So they lived at home.
Oh, they lived at home. So
And they came in every day. We used to go and pick them up.
So you run like a bus scheme in.
Yeah. And like one of the things, like we all had jobs in the morning. I milked the cows and then mopped out the pigs. But at lunchtime, I would take, we would rotate it so that I would take 3 of the boys and we would go into the farmhouse and we would prepare and serve everybody's lunch. So everyone sat down. So there would be about 12, sometimes 15 for lunch. So we decide what we were going to cook.
Yeah.
Then we cook. We had a lot of fun doing that. And then we'd serve it and eat it. And then we had about a half an hour rest and we all went back to work.
So revisited your days of having the restaurant.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And it was one of the ways I kind of talked my way onto the farm, because I didn't have any farming experience. And the couple who owned it were saying, you know, in theory, but what are you really going to do? And I was saying, well, you know, I can cook, I can do other things, I can bring other things into this project, and I'm more than happy to do it. I want to do some things like that.
Yeah.
So
and
that
you assisted the learning kid,
Yeah.
which is brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, that should be, and really should be more of that in the world, I believe. That, you know, just because you can't do anything on paper that can help organisations, they should still be able to think out the box. I think it's easy if you're just running a business yourself because you can see a wider view.
Yeah.
I could always see to be able to use someone's skills without them realising.
Yeah,
it.
that's right. It's finding someone's skills.
Exactly, and that's the whole point, is that too many people on larger organisations, which is really why I stopped working for organisations. I thought it was just easier working for myself because, you know, I thought I was a lot smarter than some of the bigger boys, because I had the vision to look around and just see how the business runs. And you find somebody to do part of your business, then you can create a role for the right person coming in who's got the skill.
Yeah, it's about heart and soul, I think.
It is, yeah. And of course it's a love of, you want people as well, especially food, learning, you know, communes that can actively bring, if not definitively, to the centre for all around the other jobs that they're doing. So you're perfectly correct, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're doing one thing, you're usually learning another.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
You learn timekeeping, how to get on with one another.
Exactly.
You know, how relationships work, all of that, plus all the animal stuff.
Well, from what you said, you've already had those interpersonal skills of blending in with other people and accepting people for being different to you, but at the same time having a function, really.
Yeah.
You know, as someone once said to me, it said, that's why I never worked at marriage, Teddie, because you never had the skills for interpersonal skills. In business, you're very good, but your personal skills in relationships are useless, which I tend to agree. And you asked my oldest lad, he said definitely. He definitely agree. I can tell you that for sure. yeah. It's so much so he's never got married. My oldest boy.
Oh,
No,
wow.
no, he hasn't. No. Right. But he's got a nice life in Thailand. So he said,
Oh, okay.
he said, to spend my time partying. But that's another story. So, you know, all this stuff is important in life, you know. I mean, how relative it is now, I don't know, because I'm not in the workplace anymore. Really.
I know. I think it's harder now.
I think so as well. I think
do.
so.
I know, because my daughter talks about it. And like I say to her,
And what does your daughter say about it?
Well, she I say to her, you can't do like for like anymore. It's not like that anymore. Like I can remember moving around and like I had 10 quid in my purse and I just thought, I hope this works out.
And we've all been there, I think.
Yeah,
I think we've all been there, really.
And I don't think it's the same anymore.
Right, isn't? No.
There isn't the same experiences to be had or to be as free.
Well, no. That's the other thing. Your 70s and 80s were fantastic. Like, it's easy just to pick your bags up and just clear off and move somewhere else. And always, I've never had a problem finding work when I was younger. You know.
Yeah, you could pick stuff up. And I mean, you see, it's so different now because people can pick stuff up and you're working 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jobs, you know what I mean? And it's gone crazy because people still can't live on it.
No,
and like I know when I used to move around, I mean, I wasn't moving into luxury apartments or anything, but there were places to live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On the whole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you could
I do. Yeah.
£20 deposit it was a manageable, doable thing.
The good old days.
I know, because
they were the good old days.
Because people weren't earning more than 70 quid a week or £100. It had to match, and it just doesn't match anymore.
Now you can't even rent a private flat for less than 300 quid. I don't think. You know, I was chatting to a friend.
Oh God, no! There's no way.
No, there isn't. Is there?
1,000 might. Well, even 1,000.
Well, Lewis. You take Lewis. I mean, it's frightening. It really is for a week's rent. And it's all right. So all this stuff, all the stuff that you've done, you wouldn't get a chance to do now.
I think no. I really don't think it's the same.
After the Isle of Wight, then you came back.
I came to Lewis.
You came to Lewis, and Lewis, you what? Job hopping?
I came and I worked for an elderly gentleman, and he had a big house, and he was really nice. So he lived upstairs, and me and Hannah lived downstairs, and it was just ideal. I was housekeeping. It was ideal for a single parent, and then that's where my daughter started to go to school.
Oh, right, okay.
And that's
so after 8 years of home rearing, you then put her out into the mainstream.
Yeah.
So how do you think that helped her?
Well, it was her decision. She said, I want to go into mainstream school. But she was really lucky because when we came to Lewis, there was a full-time dance school in Hove, which is now gone. And she was a very good dancer and a very good gymnast. So
where was the dance school? Was that near the Hove station?
No, it was down from Hove station. You know where they built the great big Tesco's?
Yeah, I do, yes.
It was opposite that.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was there.
Oh, I know it, yeah.
So I got in touch with them and they said, bring your daughter in for an audition. And I did. And she won a scholarship to go to a full-time dance school.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. Like her children go, why don't we get to do stuff like that? But once again, it's even from her day, it's not the same.
Isn't it?
No.
Really?
Yeah. The world's changing really, really quickly, or it feels like that. There aren't the opportunities. It's just not the same.
No. Yeah. It's such a shame because I just don't get how things like that can stop. How did she get a scholarship? Did she just on the audition?
On the audition, yeah. So, and like there was a lot riding on it, and that was a big thing for like an 8-year-old to do, because she wanted it badly, and it didn't mean she was going to get it. And I really admired her. And she went and did it, and they said, right, you're in.
Really? Who funded that then? Was it?
They had private sponsors.
They had private sponsors.
Yeah, people who sponsored the arts.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. You know what? It's such a shame that stuff like that doesn't live on. Surely children still want the same thing.
You see, that little dance school has gone. Because there used to be, a lot of dance schools that just did, after school hours and stuff. A lot of those are gone.
Yeah. Growing up, I know that I used to do ballroom dancing myself as a youngster.
Right.
And like really what got me into music in the first place, more than anything, really. I just loved dancing to music, and still do. Even though I try and keep it quiet these days. But yeah, sort of like, so yeah. And so she really must talk with fondness, your daughter, about her childhood and upbringing, really.
Yeah.
It must be difficult explaining to her children.
Yeah, I mean, maybe things will change. Maybe Hannah's situation will change. But at the moment, it's just they're having as much fun as possible and enjoying school, but keeping things, I don't know, as a safe base, in a safe place.
Yeah, and what's Hannah doing now then?
She's at the moment, she's still full-time parenting, but she'll probably start looking for work next year.
Imagine. Single mum must be difficult.
That's hard work. It's tough. It's tough.
And surviving. I mean, financially.
Yeah.
Financially, a friend of mine is in New York, and she's same problem.
Yeah.
So it must be difficult. So you must be proud of them, Hannah.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. And my daughter, she also has ADHD, so she's had to learn to manage that condition. And so have I.
And bring up kids as well.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That shows. That's the thing is, her upbringing for a single parent. It's amazing how strong a single parent can make you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you grow up quicker.
You do, definitely. I come from a broken home myself, with my brother and sister, and for me, it just. If you're brought up by the right parent, that's the thing with a single parent is, if the correct single parent brings the children up, you can still thrive and still have a good life,
Yeah.
Of course, ups and downs, because that's real life.
Yeah.
And that says a lot for someone like yourself,
Yeah.
And then so you're working for the guy, the old boy at the big house. You were living downstairs, he was living upstairs, so it was an upstairs downstairs situation. Really,
it was a very old,
without Mrs. Hodges.
That's
or maybe
right.
you were Mrs. Hodges.
Yeah, I was Mrs. Bridges doing the cooking.
Yeah. And so how long were you there for?
I think I was with Miss. He died very suddenly. I think I was there for about 8 years. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, so you must have. So what happened then when he died? I suppose you had to move out, did you?
Yeah, and it really was a sudden death. But he was a really nice man, and his solicitors took care of everything, and I wasn't hassled to leave.
Brilliant.
And he also left me about $3,000 in his will, which really helped me.
Well, it would, wouldn't it?
Did
Give you a bit of a kickstart,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Where if you've got to move out,
Yeah.
then so that's about 20 years ago, then, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would imagine as well, Lewis has always been expensive.
Well, we managed to stay in Lewis because Hannah left the dance school and she went to school in Ringmer. So I wanted to try and keep us in the area, which we did do. I lived down at the Pals, back down there.
Down where?
By the Pals.
Oh,
You know
right.
Pals Pool?
No.
All right.
No.
It's all like little railway cottages
really?
type houses. I mean, they're worth $1 million now.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'm sure they were then
But,
railway property, because there was a lot of
And-
railway properties in smaller places like Lewis and all over the country, actually, all over the country. But you're right, these days, I suppose, no one stays around long enough in the job, do they, to actually get a cottage from railways now?
Oh no, no. You're like, they're all privately owned now and have gone up and up and up in price. Well, they're people's pension pots and I don't know. It's all got a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you ended up down there, down at the cottages,
Yeah.
down by, right, and then presumably, what, Hannah left home, did she?
Yeah.
When did Hannah leave? What age?
She was actually 20, or maybe a bit younger, maybe 19. And she went to work away. And I ended up, because of the housing situation and everything, because everything was starting to get really tough then, because I remember the crash of 2008, and that hit a lot of people hard, and it hit me hard.
It would.
Yeah.
That was the first real major financial crash since probably the Gerard March and things like that.
But so when I just found it really difficult. So I moved in with a friend who had 2 children. And we said, well, we'll throw our lot in together. Do you know what I mean? Get somewhere to live. And we were all together. Her children were, I don't know, at 10 and 12. So me and Manjit, we were both working. So when she wasn't there, I was there for the kids. And when I wasn't there, you know what I mean? We worked it between us.
Exactly, yeah. So that there was a built-in child sitter there, so one of you could be out working, then the other would be in, and you could work it between you. And of course it maintained the kids just growing up, really.
That's right, and we were company for each other.
Yeah.
We had a laugh together.
Yeah,
you did things together, do you know what I mean? She was good, really good fun, Manjit. But unfortunately that didn't work out. And I ended up homeless. And then I was homeless before I came to Clevedown. I was homeless for 3 years, and I lived in my car in Seaford. Yeah. I was really good at it. I'm not saying it should happen. I'm not saying that. But I was very good at it. And I mean, I was 57 years old and I was homeless. Yeah, so... Yeah, and I was,
what car was
working.
Yeah, what car was it?
Oh, the first, well, it was
a Mini?
I ended up with something like a Mini, but the first one was, it was really old, and like, you know, automatic windows and stuff like that, they didn't work. And I mean, it was purely to get you there and back to work, not for living you. And I was thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then it's right, well, I'm going to get in the car. So I just made that work, and then I managed to get another car that was a more doable thing. So I was in that.
Slightly more
like more
comfortable.
square.
More comfortable.
So I was in that, and then I got a very small 10-foot towing caravan, and I lived in Barkham.
Oh, that must be a bit more spacious then.
When I got into a flat, because these flats aren't amazingly big, but I was like, it really did feel like a mansion. It really did. Yeah. But it was hard to do, and I just, you know, the homelessness and there's well, I mean, that is a growing problem. And I had that feeling, I could see that walking towards me, because like retirement age had gone up, jobs were still difficult, do you know what I mean? And just keeping them, you get older and tired. But I did work all the way through, which was that was the lifesaver, because I could eat, do you know what I mean?
You could survive.
Yeah, I could survive.
You could survive and maintain some sort of existence.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm trying to say. Which
Yeah.
I can say that I've been there. I've had a couple of years living on a boat, from a small cabin cruiser to a yacht, and but still, even the yacht was small, to be honest.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine.
You
Yeah.
know
Then
what?
they are.
I mean, cabins, you say, oh, you've got double cabin, but it's only about that wide. Yeah, so I know exactly. I know
Yeah. You
exactly
have
what
to
you mean.
learn to live that way.
Yeah, become minimalistic, don't you? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Keep it
You know.
simple.
Exactly, just keep it. Yeah, and I've kept it simple all my life, simple and stupid. That's about my level. Yeah, so it's so from there. So that must. How did you get out of the homeless spot then? Did you actually apply to the council?
I did everything, and there was just nothing. At the time, I'm not sure how they do it now, but it was not. They were not good, and the way you were spoken to, because at that time they were still treating you like if you were homeless, it was something you'd done.
Yeah.
It wasn't that you couldn't afford stuff.
Well, no,
it was something wrong with you. And you've done it on purpose to try and get a council flat. And
yeah,
I mean,
I know.
you're like, oh, for goodness sake.
Exactly.
But that's how you were treated. And that was like a real catch-22, because being homeless is bad enough without people
Jumping
pulling.
you.
Well, yeah, that's pulling that sort of nonsense on you.
Yeah, you shouldn't have it, especially from people in authority.
No.
Because it just shows up the whole system for what it is. The system is, if you're homeless, it's basically all the authorities say, well, you made yourself homeless. And you're right, it's true.
And having that said to you, that those were the things that broke my heart about being homeless. That's what I would cry myself to sleep about, was that sort of treatment.
Yeah.
I was just like, what have we turned into?
I know. Yeah, my sentiment, that has always been my thought about it at all. I mean, I had that couple of years on the boat, and people said to me, how did you get back in? I said, well, because when I first moved down from London to Brighton, after 2 years, I got myself on a housing list while I was still housed somewhere else. So I didn't have the rancor of being looked down on,
Yeah.
Because in my life, I've never had anyone look down on me, because I get the hump. Well, everyone should, as you get older, you're proud. So because of what you've done in your life.
Yeah.
Everyone should be proud, really. This man behind us, Keith, I mean, he's proud of what he's done.
Yeah, Keith's done a lot, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, done that.
Yeah.
Exactly. But more of that next week. So tune in next week, Mirador. So, and then you got you went straight on to Cleve down from there.
Yeah. I managed to get in here, and I was really, really lucky. And that's 6 years ago. Yeah, I moved in when I was 60. So I've been here, and I'm 66. Wait, no, I'm 67. It's 7 years ago.
7 years. Yeah, you've edged me out. I'm behind.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
Yeah, you're a newbie.
I am indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, like so. And I class you as I class a crew of you, the certain ladies in here, the golden girls, the Cleve down golden girls, because I know you'll always be there for a party and have a good time, and always got a smile, and which is all you can ask.
Yeah.
And it's been actually, from my point of view, you are one of the group of people that have made me feel welcome about coming on and living on this complex of retirement living.
Well, that's nice for you to say, and because that is important, because it can feel a bit odd, can't you?
Oh yeah, not many.
Yeah,
not many.
You think, how am I going to do
exactly.
it? But no, that's.
And it does help.
Yeah, it does.
It does. So it's been wonderful actually having a chat this morning.
Thank you.
Really has. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for asking me.
Thank you very much indeed.
Right, I'm off to town. I'm going to have a coffee.
All right, darling. I'll see you later. And actually, I didn't talk to you about your art, did I?
No, we can do that
because-
next time.
Oh, right. Yeah, you want to invite that? That's great.
Yeah, I was finishing off a picture. Yeah, and I'd like to talk to you as well about a project that I'm part of that's been called Pinch Points. And we got invited up to Westminster, and we're doing something tomorrow where the local councillors are going to come
Okay.
and speak with us.
Oh, what's that then?
So that's about it's about food.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, actually, yeah. But it's about people being able to access food. It's about the fair distribution of food, and it's about, you know, all those problems that people are coming
Like
across.
food bank. Like
Yeah,
food
all of
bank.
that. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
excellent.
And how to approach people who are, because there's lots of people's in difficulties.
There is families.
I know, they're in crisis.
So where is this?
Well, they started it from Fitzjohn's Church, which is a food bank, and they
Yeah, yeah.
right.
I've helped out on Cycle Lewis with that. We do a
Right.
food bank run.
Oh, cool.
We do a food bank run, yes.
So, because through COVID, I needed to go to a food bank because I was living on a credit card and everything just ran out. So I went there.
Including the credit.
Yeah. And then they started a project that they called Pinch Points, and it said, you know, are you finding it difficult? Da 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 da. And I thought, I'm so angry about what is happening to me and other people. I've got to find an outlet for this. So I went to the first workshop that they put on, and it just brought a whole group of people together who had the space to speak about what was happening in their lives and the lack of food and all of that, and how you get treated and the worry. And so that's been running for about 3 years, but we've had lots of spin-off from it. So yeah, about a year ago we went up to Westminster and spoke to MPs, and Keir Starmer went into the chambers because we went on a Wednesday with we printed a booklet with lots of it was called Dear Prime Minister, and people have been asked to write a letter to the Prime Minister, so it was called Dear Prime Minister.
Oh, superb.
So that was quite good, and he raised it that day, but then going on to do more with the project, and just keep it moving, being able to, you know, people, there's lots of single parents, there's children with learning difficulties.
Ideal.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah.
If so, I don't know if you want to come on another Tuesday morning and
yeah, I'd like to do that.
And also talk to me about your art, you know, because that's one of the things I did want to talk to you about, but unfortunately just got so carried away. But it's been lovely, Claire. Thank you.
Thanks, Teddie.
That's all right. And what, couple of weeks?
Yeah, lovely.
Okay. A week next Tuesday.
Great.
All right, darling.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, and you. See you later, love, and thank you very much. And now on Mirador TV, finishing off, we're starting a new competition here as well. It is the Mirador Balcony in Bloom competition. So everyone around Lewis with a balcony, we're inviting you to put together a nice little garden display on your balcony. Take a photo of it, and at the end of the month we will have a website for you to send it along with your details, name, address, phone number, etc. And it will, and they're all going to, and we'll look through all of the entries and choose 50 winners, and then whittle it down to 10 winners, and then down to 5, and so on and so on. So this wraps up my morning show. probably a bit later than usual, but I hope you've enjoyed it. And thanks to to Teddie's people, the lovely Claire, and of course our main man here, Keith Hayes. So thank you very much. And
it was good. I was interested in listening to Claire, some of her experiences.
Exactly, yeah. This is exactly what I wanted. So that's been an excellent show. I hope you've all enjoyed it. And TTFM.
Right, they are.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Toodles.